Everyone, this is delicious Don Juan the Texas treat, and you are listening to the Countdown City WrestleCast.
What is up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to a Black Friday episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm your host, JC. Joining me this week is that guy, Tommy.
Every Friday is a black one to me. I'm
And we got Mike.
Train tracks 23, 24 almost here. How do I follow that?
I honestly didn't mean to do that. It's just the second you said, I was like,
you know what? I had a joke in there about Black Friday also being called The Purge. Maybe they should make a Purge movie about Black Friday, but
isn't that what
I can't follow what you just did, Tommy. I can't. So, thank you everyone for joining us. I know it's late on a Friday. I hope all your shopping is done. I hope you're done eating your leftovers, not too much, so that you're not in a nap right now. We're here. We're gonna recap AEW Full Gear and talk about Survivor Series WarGames.
WarGames. You know, Adam Pearce loved getting to say that, right? Like,
yes, for sure.
I'm sure he was like, I get to say WarGames. Bless you, Triple H. Bless you.
Yeah. Plenty of stuff to discuss today. If you're joining us, feel free to live chat along with us. If you're not catching us live, catching us on demand, definitely jump in and chat with us. Leave a comment, tweet us at ccg_WrestleCast. And because my daughter has wanted me to make sure I do share this, of course, because this is her fantastic homemade sign, like and subscribe and comment. Misspelled Countdown City, but took out the W there, just like a 9-year-old should. So yeah.
At least she knew to correct it. I'm like some people. Anyway,
it's hilarious. Every night before a show, she's always like, "Hey, make sure you remember to tell them to like and subscribe." Okay, we'll do. So yeah.
More than what we do sometimes.
Yeah,
you're not wrong.
All right, well, we'll start with a bit of wrestling news, and last week we were discussing. Is Jasmine Allure going to WWE, leaving WoW? And now the report has come out that potentially Maddie Rankowski is on her way there officially.
Yeah.
Both of them actually did have a tryout at the same time. We were at Hybrid Experience on Friday. We saw Maddie watching from the crowd, which first time I had seen that. So, but guys, your thoughts? Do you think this is official? Do you think she's just finishing out a few bookings? When do you think this takes effect for her?
1 second. You guys go ahead.
Okay. Well, yeah. So first of all, she has been at the last couple hybrid shows, but like she was at the October show and she was in like a costume. She was dressed up, so not as many people recognized her.
Okay.
That being said, I kind of really do think this one is legit. It seems like a good sign. I mean, her character work has been outstanding. She's great in the ring. And if she does, from everything I've seen, even from previous years, they basically report in sometime in January 2024, and it's kind of like they start the year and then get them going from there. So if she does, we would assume maybe Mission Pro, this is her last one coming up. Maybe she's at the hybrid show that we're going to talk about a little bit later coming up.
Yeah.
I don't know about the RCW show. She is their champ. If it's true, I don't think Brandon's above letting the title be defended at another show if there's a connection. So
potentially at Mission Pro, what do you think? Like, would they allow it to happen?
She's
there?
in a tag match already. So
and also Mission Pro has done RCW Phoenix title before.
Yeah, they've done that title before.
We know how often those change hands when they're not on their own show.
Yeah.
Good.
But Maddie could always cut some kind of promo saying she's the best, and someone could come out and challenge her, and blah blah blah, thus and such. She still takes a picture with the guy at the end of the show. So.
Well, here's my question to you guys. Who should take the title off Maddie?
Key Vibes.
In RCW. Key Vibes?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. let me throw this out there since you said the possibility of doing it at MPW just for the shock value, if nothing else. What if you did that thing and there was she came out, did a promo even after her tag match, whatever, and Izzy.
That'd be fun.
What about just for the
Hell of it.
shock value of it? I mean, she's got a title match tomorrow for Mission Pro as it is.
Yeah.
So, why not a title shot in RCW?
I mean, it's up to Brandon if he's going to book her, and I don't know. I don't know what his relationship with Izzy is, or Izzy's family at this point with RCW. But the interesting part of it too is like, obviously she's in a tag title match at MPW. What if they're booked to lose and they have some sort of big fight, and lo and behold, she defends that title against her current tag team partner?
That too, but I want Bougie Reality. I want her to leave. I want her to have to vacate the belts, not lose the belts. But that's personal reasons. So
Okay, for sure.
But Roche and RCW, we'd be cool with that too. So
I'm fine with Roche anywhere. I don't care.
Yeah,
so because she's tons of fun, even though it's about the year anniversary of her throwing a candy cane at me. I'm not over that. By the way.
That is coming up. You're not wrong.
Yeah, I'm not over that. I took that personally. I was talking, but she assaulted me with a candy cane.
Not to go down, but that match was way more violent than it had any right to be.
Yeah, I mean they had
happens around Christmas time.
For a candy,
really.
It was literally a candy cane street fight.
Yeah, I mean they had a whole actual hair dryer that came into play, and it was like, okay, this got violent fast. Of course, it could be a hair salon on the east side.
If you do it just right, those candy canes can be violent, and it depends which brand you get. So.
I know they're dangerous weapons. I should sue, but anyway.
Yeah, Dollar Tree. Another one to point out there. Another bit of news. Angel Blue, obviously, we know has been nursing an injury, but it didn't stop her from completing a 5K, finishing second in her group, 8th overall among women in that race. Congratulations! It sounds like she's still on her way. She had told us on the interview that we did with her. We had her a few weeks back. In between insults at Tommy, she told us she is training for a marathon in December. So I'm pretty sure she's still on her way to do that. But
I give her a lot of credit for getting anything in between insults of Tommy. I assume that was going to take up her whole time. So
it sounds like she's doing well, healthy. I know it's very possible she could still be showing up at MPW. We'll have to wait and see.
This is true. This is true.
For sure. So, any other bit of wrestling news I missed, or?
I mean, it's not really news, but I'm honest. Maybe I'll say that for my 1 minute warning. Actually,
okay, cool.
But there's just funny stuff going on the internet with wrestling and people who may or may not be around.
So,
okay, that was cryptic.
I try.
All right. Well, let's. I think it's a good time. We were all at Hybrid Experience this past Friday. Of course, I was there with Adi. Tina and Joaquin couldn't make it. Joaquin wasn't feeling too well, but thankfully he was good the next day.
That's good.
Yeah, it's just one of those 24-hour bugs kids get. Like, wouldn't it be nice just to be sick for 24 hours and
then adults get them too, because I have them periodically, and they're very and when I remember one time last time I had one, no lie, I was at work and had to go home. And I very seldom miss work. But even my boss said, "Do you need to go home?" And I was like, "Can I please?" She's like, "Dude," she was like, "Just go."
Yeah, conveniently for him, it was his last day before the break, for Thanksgiving. So missed that Friday.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Sometimes
6 years old, already beating the system. So
sometimes just to beat the system, you got to take a hard bullet. Sometimes and he's like, "Hey, if I'm sick one day." Mm-hmm. I'm out for the rest of it. I'm good.
So wanted to ask what guys thought about the Hybrid Experience show.
It was always awesome.
Yeah, it's never a bad time.
No.
I got to give props to Jay Young and Animo though. They absolutely showed me something out of the two of them. Jay Young going toe to toe with Chase Owens and holding his own. Animo, I know not a lot of people know who Alexander Crowley is, but I've known him for maybe about 2 years now. And dude's a hard striker, great worker in the ring, one of the best to me in Texas. And for Animo to go up against him and hold his own, dude, that's not an easy thing to do, and he absolutely did. Plus, I gotta be honest, seeing my boy Drew Dredd come back was awesome. But he's back from injury. He had been injured for the better part of this year, unfortunately. So to see him come back, end of the world party, and Texas Streets, yeah.
You know, Tommy, that's another reason they need you at every show, or maybe even on commentary. You're like one of the few people that knows. And I'm not trying to say this to be mean. It's just, the crowd is what it is. Like when End of the World Party showed up at the last hybrid, some people you could hear them like, "Who is that?"
Yeah.
And the only reason I know is honestly because of you, and we met them because you knew them at the thing, and then this guy showed up. I didn't know who it was, and you were the one he was right next to you, like, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah. That is the good thing about going to a lot of local ones. It's always fun to see these guys. I think it wasn't Drew, it was Eric, because Drew Dredd, last time I saw him was at like one of the Assembly Loft Productions shows, like at the VFW. I'm laughing because that same show, I think it was the same show, Eric Walker wrestled Paul Titan, and I asked him, "What did you do to have to be stuck wrestling him one-on-one?" And he said, "I don't know, but I just came out here and I was booked like this." So I was like, "Okay, nice knowing you, Eric." So yeah, but Drew's great. He was actually who Shane Taylor beat originally to become BOW heavyweight champ, because he had beaten Alex Arslan another show. So yeah, unfortunately I wasn't at that show because life happened that week.
yeah.
Yeah.
Some other things to mention. We got to give a shout out to one of our WrestleCast own, Jesse James, who we've interviewed here before. He's been in about a year-long feud, multiversal feud, if you will, with the River City Kingdom or the Texas Kingdom, depending where you're at.
Yeah.
But in the 6-man tag, him, Eric Walker, and David Kidd, they finally got a win over the Texas Kingdom, over King Rob Love, Stud Stash, and Don Fernando.
Well, Don Fernando, who's trying to get into the kingdom, I think he lost his application after this.
Well, I don't know. There was a little promo they released afterwards where
okay,
he may still be in. So yeah, but so Jesse, he was real excited about that because he finally got a win over them, because he's been on the wrong side of much of Rob Love's shenanigans.
True.
And Stud Stash, who does tiny shenanigans. No, I'm just kidding.
And of course, we saw the return of Key Vibes to the ring at this show, which is awesome.
Yeah, great match, tag team match. Obviously, Adi was pretty excited about that. Kali, what is it?
Calientita.
Or we just call her Callie.
Callie, yeah. Look, you're debuting as a heel. Have some fun with it. You're gonna get razzed a bit. It happens, So
well. About her, I gotta say, guys, I gotta be honest. I think she legit doesn't like me. I mean, I know that's shocking.
No, Tommy.
But I think so.
It's not a fake. I know she doesn't like.
Well, there you go. So I suspected. I wasn't sure. Couldn't say for sure, but I suspected that she may or may not like me or not. I couldn't tell.
Yeah,
I was just guessing.
And for what it was, that wasn't her debut per se. She's had a handful of matches, most of them being losses to Izzy. So I mean, she should get kind of used to
that night being no different.
Yeah, she should get used to that.
I mean, to be fair, I kind of joined in on the fun. She was trying to talk crap, and I was like, "Hey, try seeing if you can just see over the top rope."
Oh my God! You said that, I was done, bro. Bro,
she didn't know how to respond. So it's
Yeah, Jason.
Damn, Jason.
So.
Damn.
Should we throw up that picture again? I don't know if we need to.
La Rosa Negra likes me. I think.
Yeah.
One.
Oh, no. Key. Two.
All right. Yeah.
Key?
Fair.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's about it. Thunder Rosa acknowledges me.
Okay.
she knows you, but I mean, you're Tommy.
She knows of you.
Everybody knows Tommy.
She knows of me. I'm going to hold on to that like a security blanket and not let it go.
No, it's all good. It's all great. But hey, the way I see it at the best is it's gonna help with that. A little bit of quick wit there too. So it's fun. So yeah. So
I'm just saying, if Jasmine Allure does get signed, I think I should deserve partial credit, because I think that clip of her with the side of my face made its rounds at least through 15 other promotions.
Look, if she ever gets signed, we will send them our liner and hopefully that gets into the promo package at some point.
Or it's like we're on her Titantron for her entrance.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
You
You're
can
specifically
send.
ripping up your sign.
Look, here's the thing. If she does get signed and WWE ever does a career retrospective shows up on the network thing, and they show footage of her on the Indies, you're gonna hear Tommy in the background on
Yeah,
some
you're not
level,
wrong.
mostly on WWE Network.
You're
To the
not
point where they're
wrong.
probably going to contact Tommy about getting a
I was
voice and
just
photo
thinking
release.
about. I was just thinking about.
Yeah.
They're probably gonna want to interview me. They were like, they're gonna go to her. So while we're doing this, they were going through your Mission Pro footage, Jasmine, and there was this one dude who every single show. Can we contact him? Was he a worker? Or it's like, no, he's just a fan. Call him if you want to. He's probably not doing it.
Yeah. So
He's probably watching anime.
yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's like, man, who is this? I'm watching Cowboy Bebop for the 100th time. Who is
No,
this?
but I feel like she would say that thinking it's like a little jibe at you, and you're like, no, that's actually what I'm doing.
So I told you you're probably watching anime. How'd you know? You're actually watching anime? Yeah, we're watching Bleach. What's your problem?
Most importantly, out of all this, it's good to see the treats teaming again.
Yeah.
The new
And
show
Don
is
Juan's
great.
pants stayed
gotta
up.
get my
I
hands
couldn't
on
believe
one.
it.
Huh?
Don Juan's pants stayed up. It's like the 8th time in a
Yeah,
row.
for
I'm
sure.
shocked.
Yeah.
So
Maybe he washed those boxes or whatever. 'Cause
Probably.
He
probably.
hasn't worn them.
You know what's funny? Since I was sharing for End of the World Party because of course I
Yeah.
was, and I think Don Juan said, "I'm so disappointed in you,"
He
and I
did.
said, "Just now?
Yeah.
Like really? Wow, that should have took way longer."
Look, I'll say this: it's pretty smooth at the point. Like the match started, he got the clap going because most of the time they're working his heels right now. And
Yeah.
the crowd responded. He was like, "Yeah, what's up?" He goes, "Suck it, Tommy," and then right into a headlock.
Yeah.
Just like smooth transition. It was
Well,
incredible.
it is weird because they have been heels, except when End of the World Party invaded, they kind of turned face.
Yeah.
It was kind of like old Survivor Series where if Raw invades SmackDown or SmackDown invades Raw,
Then whoever
the
that
home
is,
the home team, they're all good guys even if they're the heels. So
yeah.
Yeah.
that's kind of what it was for them. So
So
And
we'll see
besides-
how this pans out. Obviously, this isn't over yet. It basically was officially a no contest, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah, I think that's what they said at the end.
And more
Yeah.
or less, this was true across the multiverse. Is Don Juan and I not getting along, to be perfectly honest. So
on some
that
level
goes
you
very
do.
well.
yeah.
Well, what's coming up on the slate for local shows? December 9th, Mission Pro Wrestling. We know that. Hybrid Experience will be doing a show December 16th. That is a Saturday versus the usual Fridays that they've been doing.
Yep.
And that, I believe, is going to be a toy drive event that they do.
Yeah, that's what they
annually.
usually do.
Yeah.
And Mission Pros is going to be some kind of.
Yeah, they usually do one too.
They usually do one
also.
too. Yeah.
Definitely for a good cause. All of those.
Yeah.
Hit up Five Below. Get some toys. There's
And that
your
hybrid
entry.
show has the very accurate name of 9 Days Till Christmas
Yes.
Oh,
on December
appropriate.
16th in the show's name.
appropriate.
Also, just not in San Antonio, but about 5 hours up the road that way. VIP is having a show December the 8th, that Friday.
Okay.
I plan on going to that, and also Ring of Honor Final Battle is December the 15th, and I plan on going to that too.
So busy weekend for you.
I have to say it, Tommy.
Yeah, what's up?
How you get into those shows for free?
Okay, for the last time, I did
It's
not.
not going to be the last time, Tommy. You know it won't.
First of
I
all,
didn't get to New Japan for free. Paid to get to that one.
you've got into more free shows for free than we ever have. That's the point. So,
That's fair.
Oh,
That's fair. That is fair.
thought so. All right. In the new year, BOW, January 6th.
Woo!
For those that saw Dia de los
I
Reyes.
just want to throw out real quick because I saw on Tommy they got Jordan Grace coming into that one.
And Lindsay Snow, yeah, it's
Lindsay Snow.
Wow.
and Chandler Hopkins, if I'm not mistaken. So
I think I said it too. Yeah.
I just filmed there. I don't know who's there till everybody
I
else.
just show up.
Yeah,
And then RCW Rumble Royale, January 20th. That
I'm
is
so
all-
glad we're doing that. They're doing that again because this past year's was way more fun than it had any right to be. The Rumble
Yeah.
Royale. Oh my god, that was so much fun.
All right. And that is what I'll say locally.
Yep.
Let's move into AEW Full Gear.
Full
A
Gear.
much anticipated event that took place this past weekend. I personally have not gotten to see it. It's been a crazy week. But seeing a few highlights here and there, seeing the stuff that happened.
Yeah.
First of all, most of us predicted it. MJF's partner was Samoa Joe. Is this going to be something where he gets like a new partner every time until Adam Cole's back, or you think it's going to be Joe?
I think
substituting in.
okay. So how they said it this past Wednesday, I think it might be Joe until they at least have their match at World's End, because Joe said, "What did Joe say? You're my property, and I don't let anyone touch my property without my say so." And I was like, "Okay, so there's implications there that legally are not good, Joe, but whatever." It's okay.
Well, Joe's never been one for legal precedents or
No.
following the
I mean,
law.
apparently not, because apparently he taught Draymond Green to choke, because whole boy used to.
Yes, but you know what? Samoa Joe has never dragged the person across the ring from like one corner to the other in the chokehold. He just falls with it. So
I mean,
that was a variation.
I almost want to say Christopher Daniels is big to differ, but I can't remember. I could be wrong. So.
Okay, there probably has been a few times.
Yeah.
Him and CM Punk, like the hell he has it.
Yeah, no, I think Tommy's right. I think at least until World's End, if they don't lose him before then, Joe's going to be the partner just to keep him from getting beat up or jumped or whatever.
So real quick, this is not actually my New Japan hat. This is my old school ECW hat. The situation is really reminiscent to what the Eliminators went through, because Perry Saturn broke his leg at one point while they were champions, and John Cronus was the only guy who was defending the belt by himself for like a couple of months there. He even wrestled the Dudley Boys by himself one time. So it's a very similar situation to that. Only reason I brought it up is because I love the people who can't stand AEW for whatever reason, and they pick at anything they can, and they're picking at this situation. And I'm literally saying, this is not the first time in wrestling this has happened.
No, but you have to really get creative with it, and that's the thing. I mean, MJF, in addition to being the ROH Tag Team Champion, is also the AEW World Champion, and now has held it for over a year, which is an amazing accomplishment in that respect.
Yep.
But having to defend it when his partner is injured, and we still don't know. Like, the devil thing is still a mystery.
Yeah.
People are like playing detective. Like, did Adam Cole put something in his pocket when the devil appeared on AEW television? So.
So you mean whenever Adam shows up?
Which Adam? There's so many now. So I mean, this is just
sorry.
Who knows how they got to get creative with it. You have to work with it, and it makes sense. It's very difficult because because the standard usually is, okay, someone's hurt, drop the title,
right?
And then, okay, we never lost it, we come back, and then they somehow end up losing it or winning it. It's whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you also have to be careful, because I know he won like the first time after Adam Cole got injured. Who did he beat? Like, he beat basically a team 1-on-2.
The Righteous.
The Righteous.
It was the Righteous. Yeah.
And you got to be careful with that. I know there was some like shenanigans and outside interference that he like turned around kind of, but you also have to be careful, like you said, and be creative, because if he starts beating teams 1-on-2, you're trying to bury in your teams for the sake of this story. And it was a good story when it was him and Adam Cole. You have to make it interesting, because it is the ROH tag titles, and if he's just beating teams 1-on-2, then that kind of makes everyone else look weak.
No, but I think also the difference is that he cheats every single time, and that's what works in the favor of the belts, is like
he's in character too. So
the fact that he still cheats regardless, that helps him, because it's kind of like Eddie Guerrero's title reign, and I mean pick literally any one of them. He was cheating all the time, so it's kind of like in that same vein. Real quick, Jason put in the comments HOH at San Antonio. Which is HOH? I'm not sure.
No, it's ROH. He means,
ROH.
I think
ROH.
They're filming Collision and ROH.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm tired. I don't know why.
House of Hardcore is back.
I'm sure Jason is too. That's why he put an H instead of an R there. But it's what it is.
That's on me. I apologize for that. My bad.
Yeah, Jason, stop confusing Tommy. It's bad enough. So
it's not that.
Well, what match or what result stood out to you the most from Full Gear?
As far as what was surprised me the most was the fact that Ricky Starks and Big Bill kept the belts, which I thought for sure they weren't gonna. I'm not that surprised the Golden Jets won, but I'm still surprised that they did. If that makes sense.
I'm a little surprised.
Yeah.
But it's also because apparently the Bucks are taking some time off. Too much food. Well,
yeah.
it's been a couple days. What are you gonna?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. I was a little surprised by that.
Yeah. So everything else, I think, was more or less the right call, honestly. And actually, with Starks and Bill, I don't think that was the wrong call either. I think that was good to have them keep it. If for no other reason, I don't know if you guys saw this backstage segment where Lexi Nair is interviewing them again, and Ricky looks at Lexi and Bill and says, "But more importantly, what's going on with you two? I notice every time we do this, you go to him first, and if you watch closely, you can see Bill struggling." And I mean, he is fighting with everything he's got not to burst out laughing to the point where he has to do this.
Because there are a couple in real life, right?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
yeah.
So you gotta have fun with it.
Apparently, like they say it at the media scrum, and apparently, like Ricky's like, "What?" And it's like, I'm like, "Oh my god, this man is a comedic genius."
And see, but that's the only I hope they don't hold the titles too long.
Yeah.
Because again, I really want to see Stark on his own. Like, he was there close. I think the Punk situation. We see you, Legacy. We'll get there in a minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold that comment until we talk Survivor Series. Yeah, for sure.
I think the Punk situation kind of threw a wrench into Ricky's rise that was kind of coming up, but it was I didn't see all of it, but it looked like a hell of a match. And it keeps the title on him for a little bit. So
yeah, I
hope it's
know.
not too long.
Jericho and Omega are going to get the title shot, and I don't see them at this point beating Starks and Bill. I think they're going to keep that going for a while until they figure, okay, now we're at the point where we can get Ricky into a storyline to go after MJF.
Yeah.
Because my feeling right now is that I think Starks is going to be the one to take it off of him, whenever he's ready to do that.
Yeah.
I would like that.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So
I don't know if I trust Tony right now, but we'll see.
One of those long-term things. I mean, if AEW has shown anything, they really do plan out the long-term storyline of this. Like the whole Hangman Page for how long before he won the title. They really worked that to the bone.
Honestly, that whole thing with Punk got blown up because of his attitude and everything. Because good and well it was supposed to be MJF who beat him in the first place.
Yeah.
So.
But how many male wrestlers are on their own?
Fair enough.
In AEW, not very many.
I was going to say there's actually I don't know if that's what you're implying or not. If I'm reading that wrong, I was like,
I think that's really it.
Right? There's tons of groups.
Everyone's got friends or stable.
Well, see, it feels like now WWE started to do the same thing because all of a sudden, because and I say that because and not counting WarGames because of course that always brings individuals together to fight a common enemy. But like you had Jey Uso on his own, they started teaming with Cody. Sami Zayn it might be on his own now, but like outside of like right now, LA Knight, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Seth Rollins being on their own, everyone else kind of has a partner that they tag with regularly at this point. So I feel like everyone is going to the faction warfare that I keep saying that I love, but they do it in a weird way. So Dragon Gate, only you do it absolutely correctly.
And then also, even though I'm obviously kind of sad she lost the title because I love Statlander, I think Julia Hart was also the right call because, like I said last week, she's kind of been getting that Liv Morgan kind of fan support behind her.
Yeah,
and she's improved a lot.
Yeah, her moonsault has become just like one of the highlights of any show. Like she hits a great moonsault, and also it's the fact that she clearly has been working on it, not just because of House of Black, which by itself is just a great fit for her. But I think one reason I like her so much was the fact that she took that V trigger from Omega in that 6-man tag that time. I was like, give that girl a belt because she took that like a champ.
She's taken a few bumps even when they were
for sure.
tag champs,
Yeah, for sure.
She was 6-man tag. I know she got hit a few times accidentally, and
but all that just deepens my respect for her. Like all props to her. She ain't afraid, and I think she just get married to
Sean Dean? No, Sean.
Not Sean Dean, but his partner.
Yeah.
But anyway,
you look it up. Well, yeah.
Yeah, you know
And
what I'm
then
talking about.
speaking of women, the Tony Storm thing.
I was about to
Tony
say I'm
yeah.
very excited for that. I
Lee
That
really,
Johnson.
character's
She
killing
got married
it.
to Lee Johnson.
There you go. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Okay.
the character is great. I'm excited to see how the title reign
But
goes. It's
I
too
don't know
much
if you
fun.
guys saw in Dynamite, Sky
Yes.
Blue kind of eyeing her, and I was like, yes. But
Well, did you see like the way they did the like the Emmys or whatever, like the
Look.
awards for her?
look, let me
Yeah.
tell you something. Let me tell you something. That's just good TV because it's hilarious.
But then she puts on the glasses to like
yeah,
good stuff.
Dude, it's I don't know whose idea this was to do all this, but they need a raise.
Yeah, this has worked out really well.
It has.
I'll
It's
tell
just
you.
so
I'll
fun.
tell you what could also be fun for sure is Sting, Darby Allin, Adam Copeland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I feel like I need to see them challenge for the Trios Championship. Like
I
that
feel like
could
they
be a
might
fun too.
just once before Sting hangs it up, you know.
The best
Yeah.
meme I saw from that match was like it looks like an Animorphs like book cover, like from
Yeah.
either that or like a Pokemon. I've seen both of them. A Pokemon Evolution
Yeah.
from Darby to Adam to Sting.
You know what's funny?
Oh.
I haven't even seen those memes, and I know exactly what you're talking about. That's
Yeah. Although I have heard that Darby's going to be off TV for a while because he's going to start training to climb Mount Everest. And this is something he's doing in 2024.
Amazing.
And like
that dude.
And it's kind of crazy because he's just straight up been like, yeah, I know it's possible I could die up there, but I don't care. And I was like, yeah,
Okay.
nope.
As long as he's cutting a promo from up there, that's just all I want to see. I know it's a trick, but you know Darby, like he cuts promo just about it for anything. Like it would be insane if he did that. And somebody like Photoshop a coffin drop off the top of Mount
That's
Everest.
what I was gonna say. The other joke has been, is he gonna come down by just coffin dropping off the top?
I mean, yeah.
He's like, he gets up there. I've waited all my life for this.
I know this sounds bad, but have y'all ever seen the Simpsons episode about the energy bar and climbing the mountain? And then I don't remember if it's Homer or it might be even Mr. Burns comes down and it looks like they're sledding down the mountain, but it's like on a frozen body.
Oh God!
Like it's kind of bad, but like
Simpsons for you, right? So
yeah, in those golden years, those.
Yeah, when people didn't get offended so easy, you know.
Well, not only that, but just about that like second to third season till about the 10th, 11th season when it was just like classic, and probably because we were younger. But
yeah,
for
sure. All right. Well, pick results on Full Gear for us. I went 6-3. Mike 7-2. Tommy 8-1.
You know what's funny? This is the one time I remembered my picks. I was like, oh, the only thing I got wrong with the tag match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was doing that too.
Oh, we didn't mention Swerve and Hangman.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, Texas Death Match. Yeah. Tommy,
I'll say this: it got 5 stars.
I'll say this: if that don't prove Swerve should be one of the next dudes, I just don't know what will.
Yeah. And even better was him being at the Rams game and them saying whose house. He just looking
yes,
down.
Bro, I love that funniest ish ever. Who sent that to us? Was it you, Mike?
I did. Yeah.
You sent it.
I saw.
I had seen it on TikTok too. That was great.
Man,
who's house? Just looking. He's like.
Yeah.
His face was priceless, dude. He's probably thinking, I just had that hell of a match. Y'all keep saying it's my house. Forget y'all.
Yeah.
I do want to throw this in there because I mentioned this to Tommy a little bit last weekend after it was going on. So there's been a discourse in the internet wrestling community, whatever you want to call it. And old man Jim Cornette went on a rant about it. And I think him and some other people were saying that like, oh, AEW's isolating and they're turning away their women viewers because the women don't want to see this violent stuff. And then there was a response from all these wrestling fan women like, stop talking for us. We love death matches too.
Yeah.
And people sharing like, actually check out all these awesome women right now that are doing like mostly death matches half the time.
Masha Slamovich,
hardcore matches,
Snow,
yeah.
Rina Yamashita, She's a deathmatch champion for GCW, I think. Still,
Yeah, and so it was just really interesting to see because they did crazy stuff. I think they used real glass after all that stuff with CM Punk.
which is
The
even
barbed
funnier.
wire got like caught in Hangman's face a couple times.
The drinking of the blood.
Yeah, the blood drinking just straight up, and then
Oh my gosh.
Triple H's it, and it's crazy because it's like that got approved,
Yeah,
and it's like, all right, like I guess the doctor's like, it's not horrible to drink someone else's blood.
and
I mean,
also
you better
fun
be
fact,
getting tested, obviously.
for
Yeah,
so,
sure.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
also,
Yeah.
fun fact, as far as women in deathmatch wrestling goes, Rina Yamashita, she's the GCW Ultraviolet champion. She's had that thing since August of last year.
Yeah.
So she's been fighting men and women. So you know what? Okay, I'll put it this way. I said it a million times. If you don't like deathmatch wrestling, don't watch it.
Right.
And it's not like AEW does this all the time, but certain blood feuds they don't. I mean, John Moxley doesn't count because he just bleeds.
Yeah, okay.
He gets put in the chin lock. He's busted open. He's the Raven of AEW. My point
I was
is,
gonna say the Sandman, but okay, go ahead.
Raven said he's the ECW of AEW.
Fair,
To be
all right,
fair,
go ahead.
Sandman is busted open before he gets to the ring because of the
Yeah.
damn beer can. So,
Yeah. Raven got busted open because of chin locks. Anyway,
Yeah.
but no, they really don't do this all the time. But every now and then they do something like that. So I just feel like if you're gonna say that, have that same energy for whenever they do an actually violent Hell in a Cell, because lately they've been doing that again when they're actually like have a feud that needs to end in one. Thank God. So just having it as a damn pay-per-view, which ruins it. So I just Jason just said it. They're just trying to find excuse for everything. It's like they want AEW to fail so bad, and I don't get why. They're not hurting anything. Just let them be. If you don't like them, cool. Don't watch them.
Yeah, and then it also reminded us of maybe our favorite women deathmatch wrestler, Rachel Summerlin.
Yeah.
Who, in fact,
wherever she is, I love her so much.
It's actually really funny, real quick, because I was looking up some stuff on her, like trying to remember some ACW matches, and I found the triple threat with her, ACH, and Scott Summers from the bar, up on the northeast side.
In Live Oak, yeah.
Yeah, and the best thing is literally the front row is me, JC, Tina, Tommy, Professor. I was like, oh damn, man, that was crazy.
That was great times. And not even just her. I mean, like they had like most of the roster in ACW, the women did all those matches, like Athena and Jessica Havoc. If you guys remember that chair match, that finals of the Joshi tournament.
Portia got into some matches there with
Portia,
some of
Jessica James, or what was her?
Lady Poison? Was it Lady
Poison?
Lady Poison.
Yeah, you're right. Angel Blue did it a few times. She would mix it up.
Yeah.
And Angela Lane, Dyslexia, Angela Lane. Somebody else who came through there. I can't remember.
Actually, didn't Miss Dyslexia bloody the one who threw the cake on you? What was her name again?
Oh, Star.
I
think so.
I don't know if she bloodied her. No, that wasn't her.
Okay, she got bloodied once from something.
She got bloodied once from like a death match she was in, and like a piece of glass, the shard just hit right there, and gushing. So she was.
And also, the patron saint of ACW, may she rest in peace, Daphne. Like her, like one of her first matches in the damn company that ended with her like a Texas Cloverleaf on the bar against Rachel at the venue. So
God, the venue.
I do too. It's such a great.
Yeah.
But so it's a cop out thing to me. It's like, oh, dude, just say you don't like the match. Don't drag everybody else into it. Just say you didn't like it.
And stop speaking for other people. You don't like it, but stop saying what other people do or do not like.
Well, I have a problem with that with the culture today anyway, with saying this offends these people. No, let us speak. We can say if this offends us. Let us talk.
Yeah. So.
And Jason also, Cornette fell off the scaffold several times.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, because I used to rent all those VHSs, back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Jim Cornette, I mean, every now and then he'll say something that's a good point, and then it's other times he's like, dude, stop.
Yeah,
stop.
like I said before, he could be so valuable with his knowledge and stuff, but his old man yell at the sky, like, It has to be a
You
certain
know,
way.
I'm just gonna say this right now. Jim Cornette is the Skip Bayless of the wrestling world. That's basically what it is.
all right.
You know,
I
so
think it's a fair
that's the
assessment.
way I'll put it. Yeah.
I mean, you're
so
not wrong. It's just like
No.
that.
Yeah, that's fair.
he just annoys everybody he talks to. You know, so especially like if they actually have wrestled, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into our WrestleCast ratings here. 0 to 5. Happy WrestleMania 17, 0 December to Dismember. Oh, yeah. Well,
Sadly, Jason, I think that may have happened more times than.
I'm sure. We just
Yeah.
never heard about it.
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable rating this because I haven't seen this.
Yeah,
all
no,
year,
me neither.
Yeah.
I'll hold off on reading it too.
Yeah, so we'll rate it, but if you got to see Full Gear, definitely put a rating in here for it in the chat as well.
Oh, you also forgot to mention Orange beat Moxley.
Yeah, that was shocking. I actually,
Yeah, a little bit
I don't
too.
know, it was
Honestly.
shocking. We all picked it.
I know, but I thought I was wrong.
Wait, did I pick Orange?
We all
I could
picked
have sworn
Orange.
Okay, I could have sworn
Yeah.
I picked Moxley for some reason.
Let me double check. Where is it? Yeah, we all picked Orange Cassidy
Okay.
because we all want to see hashtag Orange 1000 days. That's really what we want to see.
Well, yes,
you know?
we definitely do.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, fun stuff.
Yep.
All right. Well,
Oh, Casey, what's up, my man?
what's up, Casey?
Haven't seen you,
You
in a while,
know,
buddy.
we've been kind of nice to each other in the past couple shows. Why you do this? Why you do this, homie? What's up?
It is fair, Casey. You know, his voice carries. He has been counting the backbreakers. You know, I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But it's still
Yeah.
funny to see him make fun of you. So, you know.
I mean, I didn't say it wasn't. I just
Also,
Should we start bringing a flip chart sign for backbreakers? You know, just
yeah. Hey.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm in for that. I'll do it.
All right.
Also, Casey, shout out to your partner Brandon for getting on Izzy about being a Commanders fan. And they were going back and forth yesterday after the Cowboys game. So that was pretty funny. I saw that too.
By the way,
Not
I
that
was
I can say
watching.
much. I'm a Titans fan. It's not been a good year, but still, yeah.
I was watching. By the way, I was watching the Commanders Cowboys game. That last
Yeah.
interception was just nasty. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
young man, you should apologize for that immediately after this touchdown.
Yeah. Look, about sports standard. They fired their defensive coordinator. They fired their defensive backs coach. Ron Rivera is now calling defensive play setups, and quite frankly, he's probably getting fired after this season because there's just no fucking excuse.
All right, it's turned into a sports
Yeah.
minorities episode. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So yeah. Let's see.
Yes, another one. Devin, Key, now Casey's cousins. All these people that remember you from shows back in the day. 2 of them are wrestlers now. I don't think Casey's cousin is, but that is great. Also, is JC frozen?
I think JC's frozen. I think he froze right after he did that. Oh, great. You know what's worse? Now this comment won't go away. That's just going to stay there. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And of course, it freezes right when I share that. So thank you for staying there.
That's what he was just saying.
That's what I was saying. And of course, you froze. Right as you froze, the comments just stuck up there. Fantastic.
Yeah. Thank God it made it. So, yeah.
But that's look. Also, Izzy's parents. Like,
yeah,
you're memorable, dude.
Apparently,
Mike,
but
is this on
is that
par?
the
Is
heckler?
this on par where like you're teaching a student and you happen to have taught like their older brother or sister like years ago? Is it kind of on par with that?
I'm
Kind of.
kind of thinking yes, because I feel like I've influenced an undue number of kids to either become more diehard wrestling fans or just be wrestlers.
I'll be the heckler.
Hold on, Casey. There are many nicknames for Tommy. Believe me, that's probably been in circulation at some point. So, you know, give it
Does
time.
Casey even know about the Sean Vex sign from ACW?
No,
you may have to share that with him at a show. Maybe not on this show. But
I can't say exactly what it said because
neither can I.
Look at me, and it is Black Friday after all. So, Tommy, if you want to say it, because you're the one that.
And quick summation of the story, which I've told before, Vex went heel. I brought a sign that said Vex use a bitch ass nigga. And in turn, at about 6 months later at an ACW show, Sean Vex brought a sign that said Tommy is a bitch ass nigga. The problem with that sign, though, is the number of people who wanted to take pictures with it after the show, which I didn't appreciate. One of them being Athena.
I was gonna say Athena is in this picture with this sign with Tommy.
Hold on, I'm more than positive I still have it. Hold on,
You
because
probably do. And yes,
but-
Casey, it is current Ring of Honor Women's Champion Athena.
Yes.
yeah, okay. Because here's what's worse about that, and I'll say it while I'm looking for the picture because I think I know what year it was.
Okay.
Is that she was in her bathrobe still, hadn't even fully changed out of her gear. All I heard was wait, and hear her ass come running down out of nowhere. I said, "What the hell is this bull right here?"
Add Casey to the list. There's like half the RCW graduates that have sat with you at shows.
Wow.
Wait, which show? I think. Oh, I remember that show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
wait, Case, you were next to me?
Was this at Tiffany's?
It was either it had to have been Tiffany's or because that must have been 06, I think.
So
06,
JC,
07.
legitimately,
Oh,
Key
damn.
Vibes,
Uh-huh.
Devin Carter, and now Casey Blackrose remember being younger at RCW shows and meeting or seeing Tommy. This is three of them now. And
Damn it.
Izzy's parents.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to say about this, and I'm going to zoom in on this one right now. And this is to Calientita. Take it as a compliment if Tommy is heckling you, because all these people have probably been inspired or at some point to sit next to Tommy like, you know what? When I grow up, I want to be heckled by this guy. I want this guy yelling at me in my matches. I want this stuff. So you know what? Just throwing it out there. Tommy heckling you, good thing, you know? So it's making their career. Good job, Tommy. Good job.
Sure. Yeah.
You're inspiring people in more ways than one. So.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. Where's that?
Yeah.
Sign?
Maybe the church on the south side. That would have been either Belair or
Belair?
Church Triumphant. Yeah.
Yeah, or I can't remember which
Hope
one.
of Glory, Church Triumphant, because that's two names now. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
when was this one?
Okay. Boom. There you go. We just said it right there. So.
Let me see. Yep.
Yeah. So.
Okay. You know what? Let me just find this damn picture so we can just get this over with because I'm already having a rough day.
Tommy, we're literally saying that like there's a generation of wrestlers that are inspired by you, remember you.
I just found it. Hold
Live
on.
to be-
boy.
I just found it. Hold on. Here it is.
If
You
you're
share
offended
it,
by
I'll
foul
post it.
language, please turn away
If
now.
you're offended by
Yeah.
foul language, get a life. Yeah.
Just a fair warning. Just let it
Fair
go.
warning.
Just like there we go.
There's the sign. Now, for the other thing I mentioned.
Yeah, where's the one with all that? There we go.
There it is.
Yeah. There's like three. Hold
I
on.
like how Ellis made an appearance in that one too.
Where's the other one? Oh, there's that one. There's that one.
Ted?
Yeah.
JC, it's that
Hold on.
hashtag is in there.
Let me see
it's
if I can
still
find the exact one. Hold on. Oh, here it is. Here it is.
We've used it several times.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me share it. Let me share it again. Dang it.
Yep.
Here it is.
Yep.
This is the one you're talking about. She ran down. I heard her voice. Like she's like, wait, and here she comes.
Only in independent wrestling, guys. That's just the fun part of it. It's only in independent wrestling.
Now that being said, in all seriousness, God, I miss Sean Vex like so much.
Yeah,
like, dude, I
Mr.
love
Beast.
that guy, man. That was my dude for years, bro. Man, I miss that guy so much. So yeah.
All right. Let's see
damn. Be safe, Casey. Have fun. Kick some ass, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, be safe on the road out there.
Yeah.
So.
Flying or driving, be safe either way. You guys have fun.
Probably driving, but yeah.
So, all right. Well, let's move into Survivor Series. Say it with me, guys.
War games.
Sorry, I was late.
Yeah.
It happens.
War games.
War games.
War games.
This always a fun one, always a good time. I'm excited that this has kept going.
Yeah.
And I really hope it stays the course. But this good, interesting card here. 5 matches. Has anything else? Anything else was announced on SmackDown tonight? Is it still
Well,
5?
one of the
They
matches
changed.
changed.
Yeah, one of the matches
Yeah, I did see that. I was going to
Okay.
talk about that too.
Yeah.
So.
Nothing has been updated yet. No, so no.
I don't think there's
so,
I don't think anything's been added, but
Yeah,
I think it makes sense because those war game matches are going to be about an hour each.
Probably because
Yeah,
especially with
Casey,
the
we were going to talk
5-on-5,
about that
right.
here in a minute. That was one of the things I was going to mention.
I swear to God, these shows are
Oh,
wrong.
interesting. I'm gonna have to look for that on Apple Music. Hell,
Actually,
interesting.
I didn't know that, but I love that band anyway. Even before, actually, no, I take that back. I did find them. I did hear that song before, but then that's why I like CM Punk more originally because of that song.
Well,
So,
should we address it now because it's come up many times? CM
Well,
Punk. I mean,
okay, that was going to be
Yeah.
a part of my 1 minute warning, but
we can wait. We
that's
can
fine.
wait if you want.
No, it's
but-
okay. Either way.
Yeah. There's a lot of heavy rumors about it now.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
think somebody was a Cultaholic or someone posted that WWE is open to it if there's fan response.
Yeah.
Legacy Nerd put it earlier about Randy Orton versus CM Punk. When is that happening? We've said it many times. Never say never in wrestling, right? Survivor Series is in Chicago.
Yeah.
Does it happen?
No.
No.
I still honestly believe no. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I still honestly believe that it's not going to happen. I don't feel it.
Here's kind of the funny thing, and this is what I was going to get into a little bit. Right now, one of the biggest, the Adam Schefter of wrestling news, if you will, is Sean Ross Sapp. And he's pretty legit with most of the things he reports, and he reports them in a way that's like precise about things. And he had said weeks ago that from what he's heard and what he's been told, there is no talks with CM Punk. There are no plans. And of course, people don't read, or they just take it to me whatever they read. So they basically come out and be like, "So you're saying he's not going to be there? You're saying he's not going to be there? You're going to be so fooled when he's there?" And he's like, "I'm just saying. I've been told it's not likely. It's not. I'm not saying it's not impossible, but everyone's just jumped on the idea that he's like saying he's not going to be there for sure." And they're like, "You're going to be so embarrassed." He's like, "Okay, whatever, guys. Like, that's not what I'm saying."
Yeah,
He's
but
going off what he's told. He's not going. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
and he's doing what a reporter should do.
Yeah.
Well, there's one page on IG that I like to follow, but sometimes it's just too much because the owner of the page doesn't like Dave Meltzer, which and I'm not saying you have to like Dave Meltzer. What we tomato, I don't care. You like him, you don't like him, whatever. But my thing is, he's always saying, because like Dave Meltzer said something similar. He's like, from what he's basically said, from what I've heard, there are no confirmation. There's nothing. But he also said it could just be people keeping it close to the vest. And he's always like, well, he's just saying in case he's wrong. Well, duh, man. That's why he's not trying to give everyone false hope. He's like just saying, hey, he could. As far as I know, he's not going to be there. I could be wrong. And everyone always wants to get on Meltzer for saying he reports stuff wrong. So the one time he says, hey, I might be wrong with what I know, he may not be there. When he says that, to say, hey, I don't know for sure, he's like, hey, you're just... You can't please everyone.
It just kind of goes back to what we said earlier about people always looking for something. But
yeah, people have to realize, like, reporters are going to report what they're told. And if you really think someone's going to come out and say, yeah, he's going to be there, if they're trying to surprise everybody if he's there, of course they're going to say
one other thing that was mentioned was they basically announced the Randy Orton return on Monday.
Yeah.
So that fans didn't have the anticipation of Punk. So that when there was a mystery partner, they did, boo him like they did Mysterio at the Rumble years ago, expecting Punk. And not that Orton's like any kind of, second place,
nope, not at all.
But his return's been anticipated as well. So,
right, yeah,
for sure.
Casey, don't do that to me.
No, Casey.
No.
In all fairness,
I don't trust WWE enough yet to handle Okada. No, don't do that.
I've also heard Kenta, which is why Shinsuke did the, they thought the go to sleep was about Punk, but there's also talk about it being Kenta.
Well, Kenta.
Can you imagine a triple threat match down the line? CM Punk versus Kenta versus Shinsuke.
I mean,
winner keeps the finisher.
But Kenta's sitting there like, this is bullshit. I shouldn't even have to be in this match. I invented it in the first place.
Kenta's like, I've been asking for this for years.
Yeah. I didn't even get to do it in NXT for crying out loud.
Didn't even get to keep my name in NXT for crying out loud. Oh,
Oh
okay.
God!
Casey knows his stuff. Casey knows his history, man.
That no, absolutely, and that's exactly why I don't want him in WWE. Now I'm afraid they'll give him something stupid like that again.
Isn't that exactly why New Japan didn't work with TNA for years?
That is the
Yeah.
literal reason. Like no lie,
Mhm.
we're like they cited that for years as the exact reason they would not work with TNA for until Scott D'Amore took it over.
Yeah.
Brock could be interesting, but I mean, I don't think Shinsuke is ever going to be given a chance against him. So I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is, they have history from Japan.
No, I know they do, but it's WWE
But how
and
much of the
Brock,
crowd
so-
local, like on this side of the world, knows about
Well,
that? Not very much.
well, the crowd locally won't care. Brock's music will hit and they'll go crazy. So they won't
Yeah.
care.
So, all right. Well, 5 matches that we're going to be discussing here. First off, it was Carlito versus Santos Escobar. That changed tonight. Dragon Lee is going to be taking on Escobar. Carlito is not, quote, medically cleared to compete
Quote unquote.
at Survivor Series. Now, Tina loves War Games and has made some picks for this pay-per-view.
Oh, cool.
Nice. Been a
So,
while.
and she said she's originally going with Carlito and she's going to stick with that. So she's picking Dragon Lee to win this one here. So, Mike, what do you think is going to happen with this match?
I'm going to go with Santos in this match because I feel like if you're going to have him turn heel, you need to give him some momentum. And I like Dragon Lee, super talented, but he's kind of just been called up recently. Like I think he debuted in a match like a week or two ago. Was it last week?
Yeah.
Month or so. Yeah, last week.
Yeah, within the last couple of weeks. So, I think it means more to have Santos continue the feud, kind of beat some of Ray's friends, maybe beat Carlito down the line when he gets back or whatever the story is. And supposedly there's going to become literally like there was NWO Black and White versus Wolfpack. There's going to be like 2 versions of the LWO going against each other. So
why not? I don't care.
Well, I think the we were just talking about this with Keith the other night. The Lotharios or whatever they are now. We're supposed to come back up from NXT and join Santos, is what I've heard.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Okay. I'm also going with Santos on this one. Same reason, it doesn't make sense at this point for Dragon Lee unless everybody shows up to help Dragon Lee with this. Tommy, what about you?
Yeah, I'll go Santos. Same reason.
Okay.
I feel like he's going to be the heel who gets the win on this one.
I do want to say something real quick about this because this circles around Rey Mysterio.
Mhm.
One of my favorite jokes I've heard about WWE with Rey Mysterio is like they've been trying to build the next Rey Mysterio for years, whether it be Del Rio or Sin Cara or whatever, and they always seem to come back to like, what about the original Rey Mysterio? And then he just goes like on another run for a while. So Dragon Lee may be the next one in line. Santos may be in line to be the next.
Yeah. Wow, Mike froze.
Mike, okay, Mike froze a bit, but I'll just put this up here. Casey sleeping match tonight.
Casey.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think he's right. Santos.
Sorry, I don't know what happened. My connection.
Yeah, it's all right.
I guess I'm next. So
Sleeper
whatever
match
I free. Yeah.
Right.
Sleeper. Yeah. I mean, he's not wrong. Carlito and Santos already could have been. Dragon Lee and Santos absolutely could be.
Yeah.
Dragon Lee, and I think I've said it before, is just one of my favorite, especially mass luchadors in the past few years. Him, Ray Phoenix, Penta, Ray Horace, and now Commander, by the way, if you ain't seen his matches, geez, that guy, geez Louise. It's just some of my favorites right now. So I think this could be just a great kind of like great showcase. By the way, I'm not even mad about this. So props to both WWE and AEW for letting luchadors kind of like have some forefront lately, because I don't know, you guys have seen like on like Rampage, like they've been like opening with like a lot of luchador matches and everything, and WWE giving to. So I'm not even mad. Props to them because luchador wrestling is some of my favorite in all of pro wrestling. I don't even care. So.
And I have a feeling that this match is slated to go on second. I'm pretty sure.
After our War Games match.
Yeah, I think the women's.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say what's first, but okay, yeah, War Games.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure women's War Games will be first. I'm pretty sure this will be second.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm sure this next match, the Intercontinental title match, is going to be third. Gunther versus The Miz. Now we've said we're going to pick Gunther until he loses. I think we're all saying that Tina's just tired of him, so she wants the Miz to win. She loves the Miz. So
She just loves the
Just loves the Miz.
She loves the Miz.
Get
Yeah.
him,
So
dude,
I mean,
Gunther.
yeah, but I'm sure we're all going with Gunther.
I'm going with Gunther. Yeah.
Yeah. So
have we ever had Orton versus Miz?
Not
Probably.
in years. Not in
Not a long
years.
time,
And
yeah.
we need Tina's pick when that happens.
well, she had a tough time picking the men's war games, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, real quick. We have Orton Miz Bills long before we started the show. It was long before we ever started the show. So
Yeah. So she was definitely on her Orton kick. She's always on her Orton kick, right? So
Well, if it makes you feel any better, my mom has a gigantic crush on Roman Reigns. It's kind of embarrassing for my dad.
It's understandable though.
But it's embarrassing for my dad.
Your dad could take him.
It is. Yeah.
Not with that bad hippie cat.
you occupy Solo, and your dad takes out Roman. We can do this.
Yeah.
Look, to
Don't
be
worry,
fair-
Dad. I got Solo. He's 20 in my hands, Dad.
Not wrestling related, to be fair. My kids are learning about my love for Jennifer Pena now that she's put a new song out and is back after all these years away from the music scene. I'm so excited.
Jesus Christ. I'm going to ask the question carefully.
Yeah.
How old is she now?
She's 40.
Dang.
She just turned 40 in September and hasn't put out a song in over 15 years.
You know what's funny?
So
One of my
her
favorite
new
singers
song is
just came
freaking
back.
fire. So
What's
kids
that?
love it. Her new song is awesome too, by the
Oh.
way. So yeah, we use it pregame for the softball team too. So
I said, one of my favorite singers just came back. Is coming back next year with the song Angela Aki from Japan, of course. She's got a new song coming out like next year. So I'm like, holy crap!
there it is.
Look at Casey correcting our
So
wrestling
this,
album.
I want to say this was on the road to when he faced John Cena.
John Cena.
Main event
Yeah,
of that
because
one,
oh, that's right. That's what he cashed in Money in the Bank was on Orton to win it in the first place. That's right.
That's
I forgot all about that.
All right. What we think is probably going to go on fourth: Women's World Championship. Rhea Ripley defending against Zoe Stark. Tina's going Rhea Ripley. Anybody taking Zoe Stark?
I would love to, but no logic in my brain will let me. I gotta go.
Yeah.
I would love to pick Zoe because, like I said, she actually was at a BOW show a couple years before she got signed, and she's been to Mission Pro before. Great worker. Lots. She's gonna win it someday. It just ain't gonna be tomorrow.
Yeah.
I've got to say, her and Shayna Baszler are the perfect reasons to have a mid-card women's title. Because Shayna was in the spot, Shayna's always dangerous because of her MMA background, but they never fully pull the trigger on her, so she always takes these losses, and it kind of bumps her down. And Zoe's in the same place. She could really, a mid-card title run for her would be great, but yeah, it would be some Rhea wins, beats down Zoe after, and Shayna makes... Okay, yeah, I'm done with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that seems pretty standard the way WWE books things. Yeah, so
Yeah,
that
more or
makes
less.
sense. Yeah.
Shayna right there with it.
On a somewhat related note, seeing Ronda Rousey in ROH was cool because it looks like she's having fun again.
Yeah.
And when I say that, it looks like not only is she having fun, it's like she got to kind of like not be in that serious of a role to where she could just wrestle and just kind of not worry about the
Not all the pressure of being the main event of wrestling.
right. Yeah. So I think it's and even some of the people who are extremely cynical who I said they're like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think Ring of Honor might be best for her.
Yeah.
Well, and it was I read that the way that all came together is that they wanted she wanted to go team with Marina at that PW Revolver show against Athena and Billy Starks, and basically the only way Tony would agree to lend Athena and Billy was if he would be able to use Ronda for an ROH taping, and so that's why they basically had the same match taped for the ROH show last night. Which I think at the Revolver, Athena and them won by cheating or something.
I think so.
And then Ronda got the win back on ROH and tapped out Billy. So, but that was cool for her. Athena and Ronda, awesome. Wouldn't mind seeing that a few more times. So
yeah. now women's War Games match, which I think is probably going to open the show. Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Shotzi, and Becky Lynch versus Damage Control. And I love Heel Bailey. I love the way she's kind of gotten in the minds of Becky and Bianca and Charlotte with the promo tonight. Tina's going Damage Control, and I'm tempted to agree. I'm going to agree with her on this too. We've already seen the whole Charlotte Becky infighting. This is a team, so I'm kind of sticking with that. So I'm going with Damage Control along with Tina. Tommy, what about you?
I'm gonna have to go Bianca, Charlotte, Shotzi, and Becky.
Okay.
I feel like this is gonna be the start of the cracks where they kick Bailey out. I think it starts here. So I'm going team, not team named.
Okay. And Mike.
I'm going to go with Damage Control, but I'm going to take Tommy's story one step further. I think Damage Control wins and kicks out Bailey at the end of the night.
Ah! I like it. I hope I'm wrong because I want that to happen now.
I think everyone sees it coming. Now there could always be a swerve to the story. But
the swerve.
Not while I drive. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Right now I cannot swerve while I drive. But
yeah,
because I got no rhythm. But but I think everyone sees it coming. Like I said, there could be a twist to it, but I think they're going to start what I've been waiting for years. Is the Bailey redemption arc. But I've seen a few people say this, and I like this. I think Dakota Kai winds up being the mastermind behind it all, because right now she's basically interpreting the Japanese for Bailey with the other three.
I was gonna say, I think she was in Japan, right?
She has knowledge of it because she's been interpreting since Io's been there, but also for Asuka. Yeah. So I do, and then I think it takes, and then I just think kind of after that, there's a little bit of all those faces like Becky, Charlotte, Bianca, Shotzi, some of the other ones, Mia Yim. Can we trust Bailey? Does she have any friends after all she's done these last few years? I think that could be an interesting story leading up to WrestleMania with something. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Interesting. Finally, men's War Games match. Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, and the returning Randy Orton versus the Judgment Day and Drew McIntyre. 5-on-5 here. Now, I mentioned that this one was difficult for Tina because obviously Randy Orton, she's a huge fan of that, but she's also a huge fan of Finn Balor and his abs. So she was basically torn between two of her boyfriends, as she likes to say. But ultimately, she's picking... Well, she's really just picking Randy Orton, but she's gone with that team of Cody, Rollins, Jey, Sami, and Orton. So that's who she's picking with this one. Mike, what about you?
Yeah, this is kind of a difficult one because there's some interesting storylines at play on both sides.
Yeah.
And I kind of miss very similar to Survivor Series tag team matches, but when War Games teams used to have names, like Sting Squadron versus the Dangerous Alliance. So I'm going to go with Rhodes Army in this one, I think.
Okay. Especially with the way the poster looks right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Damn, I was gonna say Road Squad or Road Squadron.
Road Squadron.
So I think what might wind up happening is McIntyre accidentally kicks one of Judgment Day or gives him the
JD McDonough. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, that's the easy one. Yeah. And they lose, but then they get mad at him and he doesn't really care afterwards and just kind of completes his heel turn. I know Rhea thinks she made a deal and she's got him on their side, but I think he's going to cost him and then not really care and just kind of continue his heel arc, but separate from Judgment Day.
Yeah, great, you made a deal, but so Drew McIntyre, if he loses, does it really matter? I mean, that's really ultimate. Does it really matter to him? So that's why I'm also
Jey Uso according to the storyline. So
so and he can still get that win or lose. So I mean, I'm pretty sure. Team Cody was all Team Cody's going to win this one, and Drew McIntyre may have a play in it, and it is what it is. He's in essence a mercenary right now for that team. So, Tommy, what about you?
Good mercenary to have on your side.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, Team Cody. I don't see this Judgment Day thing. I feel like they're about to break up soon anyway. Not entirely, but at least Damian
Reorganize?
Priest. Yeah, I think Damian Priest is at least almost out at this point. He's got to be. I'm going Team Cody. Yeah.
They're kind of becoming Bullet Club, just like changing leadership ever so often.
Well, according there was no leader until Damian announced I'm the leader, and then
Right.
everybody did the "and out" face, So
Well,
which was
Cody
amazing.
goaded it with the "We all know Rhea's your leader."
I think
Now-
what Damian mad was he said, so that makes JD Cody, and of course, what's his name? Cody, I think you got him hot right now. Yeet.
Interesting question here, though. If Judgment Day wins, does Damian cash in his title shot on Seth there on the spot
Ooh.
to close War Games?
I'm going to say no, only because I feel like he's had so many good opportunities previously that sometimes they did a storyline for why he didn't cash in, and then sometimes they didn't.
I'm gonna say yes, but then that's when Drew costs him the belt.
Or maybe that's really what they hired Drew for. I mean,
Well, he stopped it that one time, but then they made the deal. So I don't know.
Yeah.
There's actually a lot of potential stories.
maybe they
that
make
could
a
play
deal
out.
where, like, hey, you help him win, you get the first title shot or something. I don't
You
know.
see what
Maybe it's
happens
not.
with someone who's more in touch, guys, has control of the booking. Sorry.
And does it just make segments where it's just like to make them and them only laugh? Yeah, crazy.
Although
isn't it?
although that being said, who's ever letting Otis just make all the jokes he wants, that person needs a raise because Otis is money.
All right. Well, Survivor Series War Games, Saturday, November 25th. That's tomorrow, guys, at 7 p.m. Central Time.
and just over an hour.
Yeah. Right. Wait, what?
I'm kidding.
No.
Tomorrow's just over an hour.
At the Allstate Arena in Chicago, Illinois, and will be available only on Peacock. I want to say pre-show is probably starting at 6 o'clock. More than
Get
I
ready
would
for a
assume
lot of
so.
CM Punk chats.
Yeah. So definitely check it out. Always a fun time. So yeah. So,
Who?
what? All right.
PM Skunk, is that what I said? I can't remember.
We'll see if that makes an appearance. See how many CM Punk chants we get throughout the night too. So, all right, with that, we'll move into our 1 minute warning segment here. Mike, actually, do you have something this week?
Kind of. I'll just kind of continue off some stuff we were talking about earlier, but
All right, ready, set, and go.
yeah. So again, kind of coming back to CM Punk, it's been really hilarious the Discord. And Jason maybe even kind of put it perfectly because first there's a small group of people who still think he may be the devil of AEW, which, to be fair, if it was, might be one of the greatest storylines they've ever done because that would be really crazy. But then on the flip side, they're convinced that he's coming back to Survivor Series WWE. There have been tons of conflicting reports being like they may have had some talks, but they're not interested. But people are determined that he's going to be there. And then, as Casey brought up earlier, In Living Color redid Cult of Personality or brought a remastered version out, and people are like, "Oh, that's convenient, isn't it?" But it's just it's funny. I don't know. I don't think he's going to show up. I think right now there was a report I read just today that some people felt like what he did to AEW was as bad as what Vince Russo did to WCW as far as messing them up. So I don't know. I don't think WWE needs it right now. They're just kind of a machine that rolls on. And I don't know if they'd want the potential headache that apparently brings. So, but
Okay. Interesting. Tommy, you got something this week?
Sure. Yeah, I got something.
All right, cool. Ready and go.
I'll probably end up saying this again, but these are amazing times as a pro wrestling fan. And I mean that in earnest because WWE is fun to watch again. You don't have to, you can still groan sometimes. You've grown at all wrestling at one point or another, but you don't groan every single week. And that now, when it shows a disappointment, it's kind of a surprise. Like, oh, that's a disappointment. I didn't expect that. But now we are finally in a time when I'm actually looking forward to a WWE pay-per-view on a regular basis. and where you're getting to see new stars, you're getting to see great wrestling and great storylines, all this kind of good stuff. So it's great to have these times back. Great that we're having fun again watching wrestling, and the indies are doing great, man is doing great, and all that. To also say, Maddie, if you actually are getting signed, congratulations, proud of you, you deserve it, even though you don't like me. But my wife says congratulations, so you like her, so.
And also, if I can just add to that last sentiment real quick, to Maddie's parents, specifically her dad, because we talk to her all the time. Bro, we're happy for you. We will find a way to see you again. We're glad that you were worried that you wouldn't see us after she got signed, but we will find you, man.
We'll figure it out, sir.
One way or another. And that's mainly because they're looking for free tickets to shows.
He get us in too. That's the funny part.
Yeah.
For me, I just it's been how long has it been since Randy Orton was in a WWE ring?
Almost a year and a half, maybe, or a year.
Almost a year and a half. So my question, and you guys can have fun with this in the chat as much as you want. In about a minute, what has happened since Randy Orton was wrestling in WWE? Because that was like a constant thing.
Riddle's gone.
Riddle's gone. What else? Let's see here.
They created the World Championship.
They brought that back, right? Talking about remastered stuff.
Yeah. They made a third belt.
Yeah. It's like the World Heavyweight Champion, Seth Rollins version. Let's see.
Vince kind of came back and then kind of didn't.
Vince grew a mustache, right? And he walks with a cane now.
Unfortunately, he's been Chinte McMahon now.
Yeah. Let's see. Gosh.
Is your clock really slow, or is this just me?
No, that's about right. It's going. Might just be you. So.
Let's see.
Damage control never existed. Interesting.
Wow. Damn.
Really?
Right.
When did damage control officially form?
That was SummerSlam last year.
Wow. Yeah. So damage control did not exist.
That means Io Sky. That means Io Sky was still being booked terribly. Oh, Xia Li was still being booked terribly. So hey.
Okay,
no, Io Sky was not even being used, right?
Well, technically, neither was Xia Li.
So basically, in the time since Randy Orton has not wrestled, WWE has finally learned how to book Asian wrestlers. Is that basically what you're telling me at this point?
No.
I mean,
I know Jason's thoughts on that, but no. Guys, am I delayed at all?
No, you're not. But no, because I see what you mean now. Because I was looking at the clock at first. Now, to me, the clock looks slow too. It is.
Like it's been 2 minutes and it's only at 35 seconds to what I see.
Really, it finished on my end.
Oh, okay. On my end.
Okay, not on ours. It's just going
weird.
In the corner. That is weird.
Okay.
Yeah, Edge was still leader of the Judgment Day. Edge was in WWE.
Edge was in WWE. So was Dolph Ziggler and Elias.
MJF was not yet AEW champion.
No.
Yeah.
Punk was still with AEW.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh. What else was up with the stuff that was going on?
Oh, Izzy hadn't started wrestling yet.
Yeah.
Well, that's an easy one. The point is, like, wrestling has changed a lot in a year and a half. And it's crazy to think that you think back on this as like, man, this is all just really a blur.
Yeah, Cody's gonna walk in and see. That's why Randy. I'm sorry, Randy's gonna walk. He's like, Cody, Sammy, Seth. Thank God I didn't recognize anybody else around here. He comes in. Triple H is like, some things went down while you were gone, bro. It's been a crazy year and a half.
Lots of things.
Yeah. So it's gonna be cool to see him back in the ring. I give it a month before he's a heel again, because it always seems to happen with Randy Orton, right? So
I give it to like Monday Night Raw, honestly, but let's see what happens.
Probably, yeah.
Well, I give it to after the bell rings. That way he can RKO Jey Uso and just get it out the way.
Yeah, just one time. So
after they win,
I want Jay to get up as like, That's fair. Yeet, and just like pass out again.
Well, they were talking about when Cody did the little thing for him, like he had that look on his face when he realized he was talking about Orton. Jay did, because he knows that him and Jimmy took him out when they were still the Usos.
Yeah, good facial recognition on that. He was like,
Yeah.
"Oh man,
That'll be funny. The first promo they cut about that. I'm curious to see if it's gonna be backstage and what the heck Randy says about it too. So, yeah.
You know what's funny? When they announced Randy Orton, it really did hit me how consistent he's been over the past 20 years. He's been, in WWE, and it really didn't hit me until they announced. I was like, you know what? That dude's been just the unsung, well, not unsung, but the other superhero of this show, just constantly keeping it going. And props to him for that. He's been, it's a good thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see what else there. WWE still owned by Vince. Well, yeah,
That's true too.
in a weird way. Very true. So,
No, I think he means last time Randy was wrestling. Because
that's true.
He doesn't have as much power now. Yeah.
That's
before the Endeavor. Is that what it's called now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. All right. Well, once again, Survivor Series WarGames is this goes up there. It was Saturday, November 25th, 7 p.m. Central Time on Peacock, taking place in Chicago. Pre-show likely starting at 6 o'clock, so definitely give it a watch. Next week, we are going to be recapping WarGames, see what went down, see what other wrestling news comes out, see who has turned heel, see what else has happened since Randy Orton's return, right? Because I feel like
and to answer Jason's question, it's still for me the Seth Rollins one at WrestleMania during the stomp. Nothing, very little tops that anymore.
That's such a great story how that one came about too.
Yeah,
the Evan Bourne one. So those.
The Evan Bourne one.
Oh yeah.
Well, see, the Evan Bourne one was my number one until the stomp one happened, and then that just took the cake for me, because the fact that they got that so right, I was like, nope, that's got to be one of the best RKOs of all time now.
Yeah, that's fair
for sure. And the best part about it is, even after that loss, Rollins still went down and cashed in later that night too. So
that is kind of the best thing about that whole night.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on this special Black Friday edition of the Countdown City WrestleCast.
Real quick, to answer your question, Ted, it would be signed to NXT. It's she got to try out at the PC, and she would be a part of like the new class there. So definitely spend some time in NXT. There's nothing wrong.
I think she'd be fine in NXT for a while, but she'd be main roster in no time, believe me.
Yeah. And once that's official, we can start making guesses on what her WWE name would be, because that'll be fun to talk about. So, yeah.
Waddy Marinkowski.
Yeah.
No, that's when she shows up in the Impact Zone. So.
That's true.
Well played, sir. Touche.
Yeah. Down here we got that guy Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
We got Mike.
Thanks, guys. Be good to each other.
And I'm JC, and as always, heels and baby faces, remember, pro wrestling is real.
People are fake. Reach for the sky, boy.
Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you next week.
Adios, Gunther.